I'm Manisha. I'm one of the general surgery residents here at IU, and the sole reason I live in Indiana is because of the AMPATH Consortium. In 2021, I had the opportunity to live in Eldoret for a year. It was a strange time to live in Eldoret. It was a strange time to travel abroad. It's when our world was coming back into living. We were breaking through those COVID shutdowns. IU House was pretty empty. I was living among the different team leads and the occasional visitors, but I was witnessing AMPATH work and function as if everyone was there, because our Kenyan colleagues had taken the lead. As we're getting to know each other, or really as you're getting to know me, I must confess, I'm a type A person who likes plans, deadlines, timelines, and everything as organized as possible. I get a little nervous when there's some ambiguity and when there's some procrastination, mostly other people's procrastination. So these 2 years I had to develop my global surgery experiences and my professional development time were very nerve-wracking because they were vague and no one had been in Eldoret for almost a year and a half, at least from the surgery side. And I needed a solution. Luckily for me, the AMPATH Breast and Cervical Cancer Control Program just fell into my lap. I had met with some team members virtually, because virtual was the new thing to do, and we had made some plans for my year to live in Eldoret. As soon as I got there, we had plans to review the data, figure out how we can strengthen the program and different aspects to program to showcase as we thought about future development. But I didn't really quite understand what they did. I knew the AMPATH Breast and Cervical Cancer Control Team was this amazing multidisciplinary team with impeccable clinicians, public health workers, and researchers, but I didn't understand what a mass screening event was. In November 23rd, I remember the day distinctly because it was the night before I was asked to go for 4 hours away to a mass screening event. And so I jumped in the van with the program manager and one of the clinical officers, two of my closest friends at that time in Eldoret, and we started making our way through the hills and the tea farms of Nandi County. Along the way, in some sort of crazy, chaotic, organized way, we were able to pick up different healthcare workers from Nandi County and Kakamega County. They were on the corner with their bags and just jumped in. We kept on going. I was like, wow, this organization, I don't understand it. Then we finally got to where the health fair would be hosted. And I looked around. It was this huge open field, but it was completely empty. This health fair was supposed to happen in about 16 hours. My type A personality came out again. How is this gonna happen? There was very few materials there. There was a lot of people, but not a lot of organized movement. I didn't understand how there was gonna be booths and different stalls for people to come, and we drove for quite some time, in my opinion, in the middle of nowhere. How are people gonna get there? So I went into planning mode. I was like, okay, we gotta do all these things before the daylight ends because we have to be ready first thing in the morning. And I asked the program manager, I was like, so what are we meant to do here? How do we help? And he looked at me and smiled, and he said, everything is taken care of. Okay. Everything's taken care of. The government health minister for Seaya County shook my hand and said he's looking forward to seeing me tomorrow morning, and that was our dismissal. So we jumped back in the van, and the program manager was like, all right, we should find where we're gonna stay for the night. I was like, oh no, another surprise. We're in the middle of nowhere. Where are we gonna stay tonight? Luckily, we found a small motel that would fit all 13 team members. We had dinner together, breakfast the next morning, and then we left for this big open field for this supposed health fair. Once we got there, I was impressed. Literally within 12 hours, the team had put together a beautiful health fair with different booths and stalls and they had 3 separate tents for us to perform the breast and cervical cancer screening and 1 for breast biopsies. I don't know how they did it. Through the day, we had seen over 300 people. As much as I was a planner and an organizer, I realized my role there was just to provide whatever clinical care I could provide and just focus on the patient in front of me. With funding support and research support, our Kenyan colleagues have seen over 120,000 individuals for breast and cervical cancer screening. And just like our speakers before said, to get there quickly, walk alone. To get far, walk together. Thank you.